everyone. Welcome to Skate Day.
Hey, it's Skate Date.
We keep going hard in the paint.
Here to party, it's me, Rebel.
And Shove. This is Skate Day.
Yeah, we're just two roller skaters who fell in love and decided to make a podcast, baby.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this podcast because for me, podcasting feels like a little escape from reality.
Which is perfect because we know that you are watching or listening this podcast the day after Election Day. And I don't know if we're happy right now, if we're sad right now, if a civil war has taken over. Is the White House ablaze?
We have no idea what's going on, but...
Totally not anxious about what's to come.
We're super anxious about it, but you know what?
We're not going to talk about it because all we can figure is you probably are like, I'm over it.
So we decided to provide you with an episode that has nothing to do with that. So listen to this and enjoy.
Yes, and if you're watching and you're wondering why I shove kind of purple in parts, it's because I am a trash human and I still have part of my Ursula body paint on.
She was Ursula yesterday.
I swear I'll take a shower after this podcast.
We all thank you for that, Shove.
Oh my gosh.
So what are we talking about in this podcast then today?
Well, today we're going to talk about femme on femme relationships.
Femme on femme?
Femme on femme.
I
femme
like
in
it.
femme.
Femme and femme?
Femme in femme.
I feel like Femme and Femme could be a band name. I would be in that band for sure. I would learn how to play an instrument to try out for the band Femme and Femme.
I feel like a lot of ragdoll bands are femme on and in femme.
Well, definitely, yeah, but they're not titled that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of
I'm
meta.
saying like the aesthetic, like.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would have a shirt that said Femme and Femme.
And we're also going to talk about how I got blocked today by Angel Skates. Dun dun dun.
Yes, we are going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about how Bowie's a thief. So let's just jump right into it.
You didn't learn it from me, I swear.
Yikes.
So first we're going to jump into our fake ads.
Fake ads! Hey everybody, if you're out there and you have something to sell, you want us to sell it for you because we're excellent at creating ads. So if you're a business, or you are an Etsy seller, or you are a person who has the power to hook us up with advertising your business, just let us know and we will do that for you.
Yeah, or even if you just need help selling your foot pictures.
Or if you're like, I really think that I am a great catch and no one is finding me, you can hire us and we will
put a single ad out for you.
Yeah, we'll make a singles ad for you.
Why not? We sell everything here.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, let's just jump right into it.
There's a huge problem in the queer community.
What is it?
Many queer people spend months flirting back and forth, but never seem to get their first date.
Well, can you blame them? Us. First, you have to find out if they're queer. Then you have to find out if they're available. Then you have to find out if they even like you.
I don't know. That sounds like the same issues straight people have.
Well, I don't know why we're like this. We just are.
Now introducing the Flirty, an earpiece that translates that
"Want to come over for the third night in a row to hang out" text that you thought meant we're best friends now
into
"Do you want to be my partner?"
or
"Hey, I bought you a dresser to put your clothes in and made you a key"
into
"Do you want to move in with me?"
Queer people, we're just like you.
Except more socially awkward. The Flirty. Get it today. Did you notice that subtle jab that Shove wrote into this ad at me for not asking her to move in with me?
So y'all, Rebel literally moved me into her house without ever asking me if I wanted to move in with her.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
So I had to say, will you be my girlfriend? In a very romantic way that we'll tell you one day.
It was super cute.
And then I was the first one to say I love you. And no, she did not say I love you back at the time.
Because I'm a and I was scared.
And then, did she ask me to move in with her? No.
But
she
I did
slowly moved me in like a trap.
But did I move you in? I did. I moved you into my house. I welcomed you into my home. I made your home my home and vice versa.
And I think it's because all queer people, or at least the ones of the lesbian form, and yes, us bias too, are just
No, I think that we really want to be cautious that you really want what it is that we're offering, and we don't like rejection.
I think that it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is why it's ironic. Because it'll take months of like flirting. Like, let's say I'm the sexy barista and you're the sexy customer.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a queer. And you're like, that's a queer. And we're like, oh yeah. And then so every time you come in, it's like, hi, how are you doing today? And this is like, you're like, good. How are you? Good. What are you doing this weekend? Oh, hanging out with friends. What are you doing this weekend? Oh, hanging out with friends. We're like, Then it's like, oh, I caught her looking at me. Oh, you caught me looking at you. And that goes on for months until finally someone gets the courage to be like, do you want to hang out? And then even then we're like, so we're just friends now, or are they into me? And then once you finally make that first date, a week later you're living with each other. And that's why it's funny.
It's because there's like, it's essentially like all of those months of flirting that leads up to it is essentially like dating.
That's what I was just about to say. Thinking it's like queer women don't have to date that long because they literally spent a year flirting.
Yeah, so it's pretty much dating. That's like, okay, well, that was the fake ad, but we should like officially enter into the real world before we get too carried away.
Into the real world we go.
The real world where we are talking about femme to femme relationships.
So what is a femme-to-femme relationship? Like, let's say, what are you guys talking about? Skate date? I'm straight. I don't get it. Like, you're all queer, right? Yes, so there's many levels and everything. Like, are you femme? Are you butch? Are you soft butch? Are you hard femme?
Are you none of the above?
Yeah. Are you like, you kind of do whatever, dress the way you are that day? Like, are you a lipstick lesbian? Are you a
chapstick lesbian?
Yeah.
Are you just bi?
Yeah.
Which is its own category of like aesthetic too.
Right? I know, like there's this podcaster from She's So Fat, Sophie, and she always says like, oh, once I realized like I'm bi, I started like wanting to dress bi, and to me like dressing bi was like bike shorts and vintage band tees and
I love that.
Maybe a fanny pack and like a cool hat, but just like you're messy but you're still kind of stylish.
I feel like being bi involves cuffed jeans.
Definitely.
I don't know.
I can see that. I used to cuff my jeans. Yeah, I don't know. It's like
I don't know. It's hard. Okay, so like if we're giving like the most basic overview to what like a femme might be, it would be a person, and it doesn't necessarily mean this person is a female. It could be a male. It could be a non-binary person.
Yes.
It could be anyone who has like a femme energy. So this person might spend a little bit more time like caring about how they look, like they might be more focused on like the femme energy. So they might like wear lipstick, or they might care about makeup, or they might be more like feminine in the way that they dress and like the
fashion
way that they act.
Yeah. And so obviously Shovel, I and Rebel, we are both of those. We are both
that. Femmes. Even though sometimes I borderline not being a femme, I am definitely still a femme.
Yes, definitely. And it's funny.
Is there a soft femme? Sometimes I feel like I'm a soft femme.
But I feel like a soft femme would just be even
soft femme, hard glam.
When you said soft femme, I pictured like a cottagecore lesbian.
Oh, I'm not cottagecore at all.
You're like, or not cottagecore, like maybe like where it's like flowy dresses and stuff, and you're like baking, and you're like soft femme. I'm picturing. Person. Oh my gosh, like it went somewhere not positive right now. I thought soft femme, and I pictured like a 50s housewife that was like, I'm gonna make sure your dinner is ready when you get home.
Okay.
And I'm gonna clean, and I'm gonna do all this stuff. And
okay, but 50s housewives looked so cute.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to look like a 50s housewife, but no one wants to be treated like a 50s
Well,
housewife.
obviously, we're not talking about being treated like a 50s housewife. We're talking about the aesthetic. Like,
yeah.
A femme person might be dressed up like, a soft femme might be dressed up like.
Yeah, but you
that's
just
also an energy.
Yeah, but you just have to always say that, because I feel like when people are like, I just wish we could go back to the 50s, and 50s were so great, you always have to be like, actually, no. So that's why I jumped on that.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah, no.
But the aesthetics were real great.
The aesthetics were awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think, like, there's the benefit of us both being femmes, and that's that we can share makeup. And we don't have to worry about getting pink eye because, like, hello, we have sex together, so it's okay.
And we also blink our eyes right next to each other just to make sure we're sharing all our juices, just in case.
So we could use the same mascara and eyeliner. The downside is that, especially now that Rebel's, like, full plus size, like, we'll buy the same clothing items.
Clutter Island. Population, our bedroom.
Oh, yeah. That's the third. So, yes, that would be, like, the third negative thing.
Yeah.
Or second positive.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the first one, we share all our makeup. The second one, we now share all our clothes.
No, and I was going to say that's a negative. So, the positive is that we get to share all the makeup, and that's cool because it's, like, we have endless amounts of makeup because we share it and everything, so that's cool. A negative is that, like, since we shop at the same places and have the same sense of style to a point, we often have to have that battle of, like, well, I want to buy that. And you're like, well, I want to buy it too. And then we have the whole like situation.
We literally had that happen tonight, except that I was nicer about it. I was like, babe, I think that this shirt is something that you would really like. And I like it too, but I don't want to buy two of them, so I'm going to buy it for you. But often that happens where I'm like, I wish, like, in that same shopping haul that I just did online, I also bought shorts that she already had. Yeah,
so then we have to make sure that we're not those couples that look like. Side note, one time I put a picture on Instagram stories where we were, like, we're both wearing Docs and, like, matching socks, and we had our matching tattoos. And, like, shorts on, and then I put, like, hashtag Dyke-alikes, and then it reported me for, like,
for hate speech. Yeah, bullying and hate speech.
I was like, what? But yeah, that was
rude.
Sorry.
So rude.
But I don't know, like, I think another negative of being in a femme relationship is we get the least amount of respect from straight cis men.
That's so true. We do get very little respect. They see us
and they think, porn.
Yeah. Yeah, like, for example, when we were buying Shuv's car, when we were doing the test drive thing, when she was buying her car, and I was just there. But we were doing the test drive, and the guy was like...
he was like, so you're friends in a relationship? And I was like, nope, this is my future wifey. And he was just like, oh, cool.
And then he was like... I know you guys are freaky.
No, he was like, no, he did the thing that, the first ignorant thing that people do, like, also, like, even if, like, you're like, oh, I know someone black, he goes, that's right. My wife's sister is like that.
Yeah, is like that. Not even, like, is queer.
Yeah, is like
whatever,
that. And then gets quiet again, and then he goes, like, one thing I can say about y'all is
you're all freaky. You you have a crazy good time or something like that.
Yeah, like y'all wild.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. And we were like,
like, this is what? But, like, we can be out and I feel like people just see, like, oh, two femmes, like, that belongs, like, historically, visually with with a man. Oh, I don't know, like, I think they don't see us as, like, you see, like, a masculine woman and you see a, like, feminine woman, you're like, oh, okay, they're in a relationship. They assume. And I think when people look at us, they just see two straight women.
Yeah, like BFFs.
Yeah. Like, oh, they're holding hands, but they're still probably just friends. Because, like, they're two femmes. Like, I feel like society thinks that at least one of the cis women has to look masculine.
Yeah, we often get the question, like, oh, so who's the man in the relationship? And it's like, neither of us.
Yeah, like, why does it have to be a man?
And thank God. No offense to any men who are listening to this podcast.
But yeah, I just think it sucks because, like, you're thrown with, like, all these things that have to go with, like, gender norms and, like, that's attached with, like, what a couple should look like. And it's so stupid. Oh, it also sucks when we make out and then we both have clown faces afterwards because, like, we wear It's like, hopefully, there was one time we had like 2 different colors lipsticks and it turned like purple.
Yeah, pink and blue.
Yeah, and
okay, and you know what also sucks is sometimes when we're making out, our nose rings get caught on each
oh,
other.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, in the beginning when we were first dating, like, my nose rings used to always come out, and so I would just, like, take them out.
Yeah.
And I would just, like, put them places. I was like, I can't deal with that. That's too much.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, and it's just, like, we could give... It's weird. I think, like, it's cool, though, because we get to, like, give each other, like, style-lead advice and, like, all this stuff. It's, like, weird, because it's, like...
You get all the perks of being best friends.
Yeah, you get the perks of being best friends, but then it's like, what? Also, you're the love of my life? Like...
Yeah, I feel like I could literally spend every day of my life with her forever and, like, never be bored, never be disinterested, and just be, like, so much in love.
But trust, Rebel probably has a little more feminine energy internally than I do, because it could just be the Pisces, because I am just like, I don't get the emotions sometimes, and I think that's when my masculinity takes over.
She really doesn't.
Because, like, she's the, like, the typical, like, you're not listening, or you didn't remember this, or tell me I was pretty, and I'm just like, what are you talking about, woman? Like, I told you so, and, like, it takes me a while to be like, oh, this is where she is, and this is why I understand, and I think that, to my head, like, when that happens, I always think of, like, those stereotypical situations you see with, like, a husband and a wife, and I feel like I'm the husband in those situations.
Yeah, for me, I think I've so fully detached, like, the feeling of gender from our relationship that it doesn't even... I don't know, it doesn't even track with me that it could potentially be like, you're masculine, or I'm feminine, or we're both, or we're not, or anything like that. But I don't know.
It's really hard to, like, break what society has been telling us this whole time. I think it's all balance we have inside of us, but sometimes one weighs a little heavier than the other.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. It's, like, crazy. Like, so many people can be feminine and so many people can be, like, masculine, and I don't think anyone I've ever met was 100 one or the other.
No, definitely not. And I definitely think that, like, going back to what you were saying about, like, the social construction of gender and, like, gender roles in relationships specifically, I think that there are, as much work as I've tried to do to try and detach myself from all of that, I think that there are specific things that I've held on to that I still really want. Like, for example, like how you mentioned earlier, how I was like, hey, I want you to ask me to be your girlfriend. Like, I want you, you know, to say I love you first, because for some reason, like, that for me is really important. That, like, someone else makes me feel super special like that. And so I think that that's, like, such a weird, random, probably socialized thing that I have from when I was young that's like, oh, I've always wanted to feel so special that someone else asked me to marry them, you know? So, like, when I think about it, it's, like, the one thing that I, like, kind of push back on when it comes to our relationship is I struggle with the idea of, like, oh, maybe it would be better, like, if I propose, but then I revert right back to, like, no, you can't propose, like, you've been, like, no, you want to be proposed to. And, like, I think that that's, like, an interesting social construction of gender and gender roles in relationships that I've held on to.
Oh my god, do you remember when there was a lesbian couple and they like planned this thing
together,
and then one like got on her knee and the other one was like, I literally was gonna propose to you,
and like went and grabbed the other ring,
and all I could think of was like, do y'all not have mutual friends? Like, no one was like
nobody was like, no, push it off for a little bit, like, woo.
But also, like, what would you do as a friend? Because you don't want to ruin the engagement. You're just like, yeah, that's a great idea.
No,
like,
you literally say, no, I don't think now is a good time. Do it in a little bit. What
or do you try to push them to do it first so that way they get it?
Well, I think it depends on how good of a friend you are. I think you have to know the people in the relationship, like, who, like, as much as you both may want to be the first person that proposes, or, like, you know, like, what, I don't know the people in the relationship. Like, are you going to be that couple that, like, one person proposes and then, like, a month later someone else proposes back? Like, is that going to be a thing? Or are you like, that kind of people?
The way how you are, like, you need to ask me my girlfriend and you need to be the one to propose to me is how I feel about, like, the day we're engaged and the day we get married. The one thing that I can't let go of is, like, I need to walk down the aisle and, like, see you be like, oh, wait there. And then, so that was, like, a big, like, wait, this has to shift. So then Rebel and I were talking, and I was like, I think I found the solution. So where we both feel magical, like we're the princess of the day. Look at me, because like we're both like that. Like
Yeah, we're both so vain.
We're both vain. That's why we're here, and that's how we got where we are. I literally just said yesterday, like, yes, I'm vain. I'm just a little more like timid about it, and like you're like, so what? Like, look at me. I'm beautiful. Thank you.
I just spent a long time in my life having people be like, you shouldn't think you're pretty. That's all.
But you are pretty, Viv. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
And yeah, so my solution was that I was like, I don't even know why. Because, like, maybe because of my anxiety, I, like, overthink things sometimes. And I'm just, like, run all these scenarios through my head. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, we could do a thing where, like, there's 2 little, like, dividers at each side of the altar. Oh, my gosh, wait.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
Can we talk about this?
No, we can talk about it. I was just giving them a spoiler alert.
This could be great advice for those queer people out there. So you both want to be queens for the day, right? And you want everyone to look at you and see you in your dress and be like, you're amazing, you're a princess, you're a queen, work it. So then you have whoever wants to go first, flip a coin, who cares? Walks down the aisle to the song. I don't even know. We need to discuss. Maybe same song, maybe separate songs. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't discussed that.
You walk down the aisle. Everyone's like crying because you're so beautiful. You go behind the divider. Then the next bride comes out. Everyone's crying because you're so beautiful, and you go behind the opposite divider, and then 2 people, like your best men or women or whoever it may be, you pull the dividers, and then you see each other for the first time at the same time, so it's just as magical.
Yeah, so I think that, like, okay, so if I was to think of the good things, and so you came up with your good things and bad things, so let me come up with my good things and bad things. One good thing is that we have so many freaking wigs. Yes. Like, we have so many wigs, and it's awesome. We can share those, and that's really great. And another good thing is kind of the same thing you were saying. Like, I really want to change my style a little bit, and Shove is helping me do it. Granted, it would be easier if I had a bunch of money, but I don't. But Shove is still helping me with that, so that's wonderful. I also think that even though she, like, struggles with emotions, she understands that, like, she understands the idea of someone having emotions, as opposed to maybe some men that I dated in the past. Like, they didn't even get, like the basic idea of emotions, and even if she doesn't understand emotions, it's like, she gets that I have them, and she is trying to work towards, like, being more open with her emotions. And I think that that's cool. And I also think that I understand, like, a lot of things that bother her, because I just, like, it's an experience that I've had. You know, like we had the same acculturation. We understand, like, being assaulted. Like, we understand being harassed. Like, so we have that same common ground. And I feel like because of that reason, we approach situations and conflicts in a similar way. And so I think that that's definitely a positive of having 2 femme energies coming at a relationship together.
True.
Yeah. I think negative is definitely that, like, when we do fight and get emotional, it's, like, really emotional.
But, like, is that a femme thing? I don't think that's a femme thing.
I think it's a femme energy thing.
Maybe.
Like, don't you think that, like, people who have more femme energy have a little bit more emotion?
Possibly. I guess not. I don't know.
I think that we're collapsing femme aesthetic with femme energy, and I think that they're 2 different things.
And I meant to talk about femme aesthetic.
Oh, gotcha.
And then you went deeper into it.
Sorry. Okay, femme aesthetic.
Like I said, emotional. She was like, let's talk about the emotional and spiritual side of being femme. And I'm over here like, femme, I wear wigs and makeup, and I like to wear a dress.
Pisces gang.
Hashtag, I'm a Capricorn, and I'm a realist. But yes, babe.
Yeah, okay. So when it comes to aesthetics, I think that we are total clutter whores when it comes to all wigs, makeup, clothing, accessories, etc. And not only are we clutter whores, we spur each other on in that. Like,
yes.
She's going to get something online and I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, you should definitely get that. Oh, I think you could wear this, or like, you could wear it to this thing. And
yeah, or like, we'll be like shopping online. I'm like, choose something, just add it into the cart. Or I bought you this random thing. All right, so thank you, babe, for going more on topic like I thought we were talking about.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, it got real right there, but we were going to stay light at the beginning of this episode.
Brought it back. We brought it back.
We came back. We brought it back. So yeah, let's jump on over to the wheel world.
The wheel world.
All right, y'all. Today, Angel Skates blocked me.
Let's add this to the list of different skate companies and people who have blocked you.
Like so Impala, but then they unblocked me because they were in heat for already silencing and not paying people of color.
Yeah.
Surf City Skates has a crazy owner.
So racist.
Video footage at a Trump rally.
Or like a no masking.
Yeah. And just like, some skaters that we just don't...
We don't even give energy to.
We just don't give energy to, so it's fine. But, I don't know if y'all are subscribed to Rebel's YouTube channel.
It's not Queer Girl Straight Skates.
Yes, it's a tongue twister, Queer Girl Straight Skates.
But it's really fun.
And she did a review of Angel Skates.
Which are trash skates.
Probably been advertised to you.
Certifiably horrible roller skates.
Yeah, and also there's other brands, I do air quotes with that have the same exact skates they do under other names.
Super shady.
So this isn't an actual skate company. This is just a business that came up with a skate name and then orders these skates wholesale.
Yeah, from Alibaba or Wish or whatever, and then sends them out. And upcharges, like price gouges, like...
Yeah, like what is it? It's like 125% profit turnaround.
Something crazy, yeah. Like they pay $30, $40 for the skates and then they are charging, it's on sale for $175.
Yeah. And it's like, what?
And they're like plastic trucks, which are incredibly dangerous, which we talked about last week.
Yeah, so we talked about that when we talked about cheap skates. So the problem about this is I woke up today feeling a type of way. And so I left a comment or two.
Oh yeah, what made you
I just woke, I don't know. It might be because as I later found out I had started my period. So like I said, I was feeling a type of way. And I remember just thinking it was a mixture of things. It was just I had so many people message me asking, well, why? What's wrong with Angel Skates? When I had shared that. Well, I have Angel Skates and I don't notice anything wrong. But the problem is a lot of people that are getting Angel Skates have never skated before. Mm-hmm. So, if I've never skated before, I'm not going to know, if this is a good skate or not. Because I'm going to be know. Oh, wow, I'm just struggling to learn how to skate. Mm-hmm. But trust, it most likely ain't you, it's them skates. Because them skates are sketch.
I was skating around in them, and I literally looked and felt like a beginner.
Oh my gosh. And so I commented, and then I put my story, and I tagged them, and then right away I got blocked. I guess they deleted my comment, because people were commenting under it. And they started telling me, all this stuff that, they're a family of skaters. So, that they could be trusted with a small business. But there's, a whole Reddit forum that there was, they used to have Etsy as their site to sell these skates. And then that shut down. But then they have, fake reviews that are photoshopped from, an Etsy that doesn't even exist anymore. And that they have multiple shady Instagram accounts.
So shady.
They started deleting other skaters' comments and started commenting on them. Then all of a sudden, when someone said, there's no experienced skaters, using your product? Like, do you think you could find more experienced skaters so we can know, like, what the skates can actually withstand? And they were like, well, most of our clientele are new skaters, so if we find... I thought you were a family of skaters, so what happened?
What? I don't understand.
And then someone said, in regards to my comment and me getting blocked, like, oh, you're silencing POC skaters. And then their reply was, well, we're POC. Even if that's true, because at this point, I don't believe nothing y'all saying.
Yeah, they're shady as hell.
People of color can still silence other people of color.
Yeah, it doesn't, like, exclude you from things you do.
Like, I've experienced racism from other people that are brown. like, they're brown, they're not black. And black people can say racist things about Asian people. It could go, that does not like oh, guess what? I'm a minority, which means I'm just innocent and I can never be racist against another minority. Like, yeah. So, I don't know. It really just made me think of, like, the Impala Gate.
Yeah, and they came at you with, like, we looked you up and we know you haven't ordered, so you're being shady by commenting this.
Yeah, and I was like...
They were questioning your authority in the skate community.
Someone literally messaged me and said, like, they literally tried to gaslight me.
They literally did try to gaslight you.
They were like, we looked up and we don't have an order under your name, so you can't review a product you've never had. And I was like, one, how the hell do you look up an order from my Instagram?
Yeah, like, none of our Instagrams line up with the things that are on our credit cards.
Exactly. So you're lying so that the public thinks that I'm just making stuff up. So... you.
Yeah, what?
But yeah, and that's like the same thing like when I started talking to or commenting on Impala's skates, and then other people started commenting, and then they turned their comments off.
Shady.
So it's like this ongoing theme. It's like, oh no, I got caught being problematic with my faulty product or thing that's ripping people off or my false advertising. Let me just destroy all the evidence and the problem will go away. And, well, look at Impala. They're still here and thriving, so it just might happen.
Yeah, except that Angel Skates, like,
it's way more trash.
Their product is actual trash.
Yeah, this is how bad it is.
This won't even last, like, a month.
Babe, I would literally recommend someone to buy an Impala before they bought an Angel skate, because at least an Impala skate would last longer.
Yeah, me too.
You could at least turn in an Impala skate.
Yeah, no, I literally couldn't skate on the Angel skates.
So it's just like, because for me, and I'm like, Impala was just like a whole thing, and like I suppose they improved, but I just can't stand them because the way they handled things.
They handled the situation really poorly.
So that is what it is. But Angel skates is like 100% bullshit. And now that I know they handled it this way, I'm like, what? Yeah, and they need to go down the way Moda skates did.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I'm just like, I don't know, I'm in awe. It's just like, I get it, like, people want money, but this is, like, effed up. Because we treasure the skate community so much.
Yeah, and I think what's really pissing us off is, like, you just came in here, you're capitalizing off of the growth of the skate community and off of skaters, and you have no regrets about it. You're being hella deceitful. You are being shown, we see, like, there is proof that you are lying and that you are messing with people and taking advantage of a situation, and you're just like, nope.
Yeah.
Like, let me just dig my heels in, and that's so messed up. Like, I don't know. So I'm just really grateful that I made that video, because more people are like, I saw a bunch in a bunch of the comments, like, people are returning their skates or canceling their orders or not buying them, and I'm like, thank God. But the thing is, you can tell they spent a fortune on advertising. Like, you can tell because they're popping up everywhere on Instagram.
Because they can afford it.
Yeah.
And they're doing a giveaway with Kat Von D, a vegan beauty. And so, of course, I went to their little thing, and I was like, you're raffling off a problematic skate that will not last, and that's not sustainable. And I know Miss Kat Von D likes to be like, we're vegan and sustainable, but you're linking up with these trash companies.
Yeah, also Kat Von D.
She's also
like
an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess all these problematic people can just be clumped together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's one thing to be like, oh, this skate sucks. But it's like, I had someone message me and they said, my friend bought Angel skates and literally just gave up skating. I was like, I'm over it. Like, nope, just can't do it. And it's like, it's not you. If you have a product that you can't even turn without the bottom of the boot touching the wheel and, like, making you feel like you're going to fall over.
You're not going to be able to learn how to skate on
that. So, like, and it sucks because, like, I had a couple people actually message me about that. Like, oh, we don't want to have people, like, think that that's what skating is. And worse than that, you might get this and actually break something and really hurt yourself.
You could really hurt yourself on those skates. That's what's making me the most frustrated. Yeah. One, people are losing their money, and two, like, you could get seriously injured if you snap your truck or your plate because it is a plastic plate.
And we're not talking about, like, people that have nylon plates that, like, were at the skate park and then it cracked, which, yes, can happen, especially for, like, park skaters and stuff. We're talking about, I was skating on flat ground and tried to carve to the left, and then I was stretching out on my toe stops, and then the plate cracked.
I went up on my toe stops in these skates, and the plate bowed.
It did.
When I went up on my toe stops.
It was, like, straight, and then you, like, put pressure on the toe stop, and it literally bit into, like...
so horrible.
It arced.
And there are all these people doing reviews of these freaking skates, and none of the people doing reviews are actual skaters or skaters that have tried any other skates besides their skates. And so it's just like...
And also, here's the tea on that, and I know why there's probably so many of those people doing that. It's not there now, but it was a week ago. I went to angelskates.com or whatever the website is, and it was like the Caro thing popped up, and what Caro is it's a influencer brand, like, bridging thing. So basically, like, if you go to a site and you see Caro, you can link your Instagram, Twitter, whatever social thing you have, put how many followers you have, because I think you have to have at least 5,000, and then you have to choose what product you want. So in this case, it'd be like, choose your skates that you want to put, like, in your cart, and then it asks, like, well, what are you going to give us? So, like, is it a story post? Is it a video? Like, what is it going to be? Is it a tweet? Like, a twit? Is
a tweet.
A tweet. And then they use that and they, like, review it, and then they're like, oh, cool, like, this person has following, like, that's practically advertising for us. They're going to give us all this stuff. Yeah, let's send them skates, especially if they know, like, oh, those skates only cost $40. This is totally worth it. So then you fill that out, and then they just send you the product, and then you're like, okay, I agreed to these terms, and now I have to do a review. Even if I've never skated before, even if these skates look sketch, oh crap, I got this product for quotations free, so I have to make sure I at least give them a review.
Which is f***ed up, and I, like, really think that influencers need to think to themselves, like, could this review harm other people?
And you should be honest. That's like back in the day before I was even, like, Instagram...
Insta famous.
Anyways, before then, we were sitting at a bar, me and Rebel, and I was like, it was like when Impala was still kind of new.
Oh, yeah.
And I was all like, I randomly want to try Impalas. Like, people keep asking me, like, how Impalas are, but I've only skated and Moxies and my Jacksons. And Rebel was like, you should just message Impala on Instagram and be like, give me some skates.
I did say
like,
that.
I want to try them. Like, shoot your shot. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try.
I'm all about shoot your shot.
I wasn't even, like, affiliated with Moxie yet. So I was just like, I don't know, who am I? And anyway, so I was like, okay, so I messaged him like, hey, Impala, like, I really, like, my followers keep, like, asking me about your skates, and I really want to, like, tell people what I think about them, like, blah, blah. Literally, like, 10 minutes later, they're like, yeah, what's your address? We'll send you some skates. And I remember getting them and thinking, like, oh, I have to do a good review because they sent them to me, but I don't know. And I remember, like, that review is, like, so cringe. First of all, like, I didn't bother really putting on makeup. I just looked like, I was like, I don't even really want to do this, but I got to. And right out the bat, like, out of the bag, when I, like, pulled them out, I was just like, looks kind of sketch. And I remember my review being you could tell I'm trying to be nice, but I'm just, like, very neutral. Like, so yeah, these skates.
Yeah, I mean, for a really long time, they were like the cheapest option for people to get. And
Yeah. But I hated them. And like, to this day, I wish I would have been more honest. But I think, like, I was just, like, nervous, and I felt, like, indebted to them because I got this product for free. Versus now, where I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be honest. I think now, like, I know that my opinion matters, and that these are just companies, and they can't really, like, buy me to say nice things.
But, like, considering your experience and then cross-applying that to the hundreds, if not thousands of influencers that have gotten these skates for free, then you can understand why there's so many positive reviews about these skates, despite them being actual dumpster fire.
Yeah, because if you go through their Instagram and you click on almost, like, I'll say, like, 90% of their posts, you'll notice that those aren't skaters. Like, that was the one time they were in roller skates.
Yeah, and then if you go to their page, like, there's no skating.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you see a picture and you're like, oh, look at them, this really aesthetically pleasing picture. And then you click on, like, the tagged person and you're like, this is just, like, a regular Instagram. It's like, it's not a skate Instagram. They're never in their skates.
They
like,
never even talk about skating, anything like that.
Yeah, so it's like,
And if we know anything about skating, it's that once you start skating...
That's all you post about.
Yeah, it takes over your life.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's really interesting that roller skating is like roller skates themselves are like crack. Like they're something you're addicted to. But what's crazy is the people that are like, I gotta get me some skates, have never even skated before.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, oh, like I used to skate and, like, I need to get a new pair of skates. Oh, my God, I'm willing to pay $1,000 or get whatever I see out there. Like, it's a skate. Just grab it before I even know if it's good or not. It's, like, crazy. So crazy that, like, the people that are, like, fiending for these roller skates, like, have never done it. And that's how, like, built up this dream of roller skating has gotten.
Yeah, and I think that that's connected to, like, how we were talking before about, like, TikTok. And people see TikTok roller skaters, or people see roller skaters on Instagram or on YouTube, and they just think, like, that life seems better than the life that I'm living now, so I will do anything to get that. And it's like, there's no guarantee that you're actually going to like skating at all.
Yeah, I wonder how many people will still
be skating in a year.
I think like a big chunk of the people will still be skating, and then it's gonna, or other people, like how many people buy bicycles and then like that bicycle just sits in your garage.
So true.
So many people, and I think like that'll be, and some people it really will change your lives, and you'll like become like an integral part of this community. And that's what I can't wait for, is like, who's the next Rebel? Who's the next Shove? Who's the next Estro? Who's the next, like, Marawa? Who's the next, like, anyone that you see? Like, who's the next Kiana? Like, who's gonna be like, out there doing these things?
Their own name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be someone that's gonna dream up the next skate. There's gonna be someone that's, like, helping body positivity. There's going to be someone that's going to lead more inclusive non-binary spaces. Like, there's going to be the next, like, queer leader YouTuber. Like,
Shove is out here replacing us, and we haven't even created ourselves yet.
But I just think it's so awesome to know, like, that that's what will happen. Because, like, me and you have only been skating for 3.5 years. Like, and I'm sure when we came on the scene, people were like, oh, look at these little baby skaters.
Yeah, for sure,
like,
for sure.
Like, oh, they're on, like, we've been skating forever, and now it's, like, we're Shovel, like, and we're, like, we have a place, like, and it's so weird, like, life is crazy.
Yeah, life is crazy.
But the thing is, and because I know that these new skaters can become something, like, important and, like, people that we'll eventually skate with one day, that's why I don't want their first experience with skating to be something negative and something they got taken advantage of and something that they probably, like, saved up money for and then thought, wow, I had money saved for these really good skates that were out of stock, but I spent the same amount of money on these $40 skates I saw on an Instagram ad just because they were available.
It just makes me so mad that people are being taken advantage of.
And that's, like, any aspect of life. And I think, like, I get so you like, I'm sure some people are probably like, why does Shove care so much? She's getting way too, like, invested in this. And I think it's because being, like, even just being a woman, like a cis woman, like, you get taken advantage of so much. And so, like, oh, I think I'm gonna cry. I'm on my period. I'm sorry, y'all. But I just feel like,
don't apologize.
This is my one safe space. So, like, I don't want to have people coming in and being predators and, like, with the energy we have here.
Yeah.
So when I see like someone being a racist or homophobic or like, I know like someone on your stateside chats today was like, well, I'm a Trump supporter and I respect other people. I'm not a racist. Trump's not racist. Like, I'm sorry, like if you are, I think you're racist. So I don't want a Trump supporter in our skate community. I don't want a price gouger in our community.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want people that are homophobic in this community. Like, this is my safe space. This is all of our safe space.
Yeah.
So when I see someone coming in and trying to exploit the community, it feels like I'm personally being exploited.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, like, I fight so hard and I'm like, no, like, fucking destroy them. Like, they do not belong here. And that's why, like, I obsess over it. That's why I get blocked, because I don't drop it, because they don't belong here. And, like, I feel like if enough people care, we can get it out. Because that's what happened with Moda Skates. Think about with, like, when CIB was Chicks and Bulls, like, once we got the ball rolling on that, they changed their name, they changed their team, they're, like, better for it. Like, Lady Trample was one of the few people that, like, got called out / called in and, like, listened to everyone and changed things around so fast. Like, she listened to the people and change came from it.
And then checked in, too.
Yeah, checked in, like, took feedback, and now she's doing so much good, because, like, you get stuck in this lens, and I just feel like then you have companies like Impala that ignore everything, turn it off, and come back and thrive like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, it's just things. Like, it's happened with, like, Moxie, with, like, Estro. Like, things happen that, like, you get called out for, and then you look at your history, and you explain yourself, and you go from it. Or you have people like Planet Roller Skate and Indy that doesn't want to change, and now you're fully canceled. Like, people aren't perfect, and people up, but it's about how you take what you did and respond to it and change and then give back to the community to be accepted, because this isn't about cancel culture. This is about being held accountable.
Yeah, it's about being held accountable, and it's about making our skate community a better place to be in.
Yeah.
Constantly growing. Like, we're not perfect, and we're never going to be perfect, but we want to try and be better every day.
Yeah, because I believe skate community is a skate community. The skate community isn't, like, people in it for clout and people in it to, like, charge hundreds of dollars for a skate lesson and then not hang out with the skaters or all this scandalous stuff. Like, that's not the community to me.
That's not the community.
Like, you might be what people think is a leader in the skate community, but you're not a leader in the skate community. You prey upon the skate community just like everyone else.
Yeah, like, something you might not know about the skate community is that most of the people who own roller skate shops do not make a lot of money. And that's because the profit margin with roller skates is very low. And so, like, most roller skate company, like, shop owners, they are doing it because they love the skate community and they want the skate community to thrive wherever
they are
it is.
skaters.
They are skaters. They're trying to invest back into the community. They're trying to give roller skaters jobs. They're trying to make the roller skate community thrive in the location that their shop is in. And so they're doing it because they love it, not because they're trying to make a shit ton of money from it. And that's, like, the first and most obvious red flag about Angel Skates. Like, the fact that you're trying to make all this money off of the skate community. Like, the skate community doesn't have that money to give you. Like, the skate community is self-sustaining and, like, is all about, like, helping each other out, not about ripping each other off.
And that's why it's crazy, because, like, roller skate is booming, and now, like, people got more money from it. But they still reinvested that money into their employees, making sure that they're safe during a pandemic, working. Yeah. And then, like, still donating. Like, I've seen so many skate companies donating skates to programs.
Or, like, just donating money. Or, like, there are more skaters employed by skate companies and skate shops now than there has been in a long time. Yeah. And that's thanks to this uptick in people purchasing roller skates. And if the skate shop owners, like, didn't care about the skate community, they would just not do that, you know? Like, they wouldn't reinvest back in the community, but you see them doing
that. And then, like, when I look at, like, Angel Skates, I'm like, who the hell even are you people? You claim that you're a skater family.
We literally don't know who they are. We were trying to figure it out.
Like, who are you?
And we can't tell who they are.
Like, who's writing this? You're saying you're not drop shipped, but they find out it is drop shipped from China. Like, there's so many things out there. Like, people have I'm not the first. There's, like, a whole thing of, like, people that have, like, investigated this. Like, just like Google, and there's just like lack of information. So this is just us throwing more information out there about like, yo, just save your money, don't do it. There's other skates the same price and even cheaper that you can get. And me, a sponsored Moxie skater, is not saying you need to get Moxies. You don't have to get, you're gonna find the skate that fits you. As long as it looks cute, it's your style, that it's like, hey, the skaters that I want to skate like use it. Maybe that's a good thing. Then and I know it's trusted.
Like, it's going to have good enough hardware to just get you rolling. Like, I just want you to have a skate that rolls. That's what I want for you. I want you to have a skate that rolls so you can learn how awesome skating is, and then you can try on other stuff and decide what you want to move forward with. But right now, I just want you to be on wheels. And Angel Skates, no offense, but if you buy those skates, you literally will not be able to roll. And that is a big problem.
Exactly.
We need to move on.
Yeah. Okay. So now it's time for 2 girls, 1 pup.
Welcome to 2 Girls, 1 Pup. This is Bowie. He's our pup. And we are 2 girls.
And apparently Bowie is a thief.
Bowie is definitely a thief, so we're just going to talk about that real quick.
I wasn't there, so you tell the story, babe.
Alright, so I went to my friend Adon's house, and I went there to pick up some salsa that I purchased from him. His name is Adon, and he runs this business called Salsa Queer, and his salsa is so good. He is not sponsoring this episode. Like, literally, it's so good. He makes it all from hand, like, from scratch. And his whole mission is to decolonize salsa, like, decolonize the way that we eat. And so he does a lot of, like, indigenous, like, the way that indigenous nations and peoples create salsa. Like, he learned from that. And so it's amazing. Anyway, so I went to pick up salsa from him, and I had Bowie with me because Bowie will literally not leave my side anymore because he is attached. And so we were hanging out, we were having a good old time, jolly old time. Bowie's fine, he's chilling. They have a dog there. The dog was in a different room. And so we were leaving the house, and as we were leaving the house, there was a toy bumblebee next to the door. It was like a stuffed, angry bumblebee right next to the door. And as we are walking out, Bowie is on his leash, and Bowie grabs the stuffed bumblebee and runs out the door. Like, no joke, this fool stole this dog's toy. And I was like, excuse me, Bowie? Like, what? Like, that is not your toy. That is the other dog's toy. You do not get this. Like, put that down. Leave it there. And he is more hyped over this toy than I have seen him hyped over a toy in a long time. He literally has one toy that he's, like, obsessed with, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And so Adon was like, oh, no, like, it's fine, Rebel. Like, I was going to get rid of that toy anyway so he can have it. And Bowie, I swear to God, does a happy dance because I give him back the bumblebee because I had taken it from him and been like, what are you doing? I give him back the bumblebee, and now he literally has come back to life. Like, Bowie is usually a little cat, a little kitty cat.
Yeah, he's been, like, running. It was weird because he, like, literally came in from outside, and I was like, what were you doing out there? Came back in, and then he was, like, acting weird, so I let him back outside, and I noticed he, like, stashed this bumblebee somewhere, and then he, like, grabs it and runs back in the house with it. It's, like, his new favorite thing, and this dog sleeps, like, I don't know, 75?
90%
yeah, probably 90%
of the day.
Yeah, so it's, like, great to see that this, like,
he literally took it outside with him to go poop.
Yeah, it's, like, his best friend. I don't know if it's because it smells like another dog or what it is, but, like, I've never seen him. It's like when he has a bone. It's like when he has a bone, because he gets real weird when he has a bone. But, like, yeah, it's good to see that Bowie's, like, alive and well. Like, well, obviously alive, but you know what I mean. Like, he's really active. So, yeah. So, Bowie is a thief.
So, Bowie's a thief.
And he actually wakes up now.
Yes. So that's Two Girls, One Pup. I hope you enjoyed that segment as much as Bowie enjoys that angry bumblebee plush toy. Okay, so now let's move on to the final part of our show podcast, and that is your favorite.
Dear Shovel.
Dear Shovel.
All right, so here's our questions today.
Our first anonymous letter.
Hey, y'all. First of all, the podcast is great. Aw. I love how your personalities are so different yet blend together so sweetly.
Aww.
So I have such a fear of success. I feel like I block my blessings. I have been told all my life that I have talent or that I am very creative, but years of the world telling me no has definitely played a part in my low self-esteem as far as being a creative. Aww. And lack of confidence in whatever I do. I'm worried I'll put my all into something and then succeed and then not be able to keep up the momentum or fizzle out because of my anxiety. Ooh, know that. How do you guys find your holding up with all the success and doors that have opened up for you? Do you have the same worries? And if so, what are some things you do to manage the stress and power through?
Oh my gosh,
Woo!
That's such a good question.
That's a good one. I realized, like, a couple years ago, maybe in the beginning of this, like, this was the first time I found out what imposter syndrome was, and I'm just like, yep.
Now it's, like, every day for you.
Yep, imposter syndrome's a thing. I feel like I constantly don't belong somewhere or, like, deserve any of the good things that come my way. I think I'm trying to get better, like, it takes a lot to really be like, I deserve this. Like, I worked hard from this and, like, for this and everything. I think it's really hard to, like, give yourself permission to, like, be like, yeah, this should be happening. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like back when there was a Moxie skate team, I remember thinking, like, I don't deserve to be on this. Like, because I thought, like, oh, you have to be an A+ skater and, like, all this stuff, and you have to do a backflip, or you need to, like, know how to jam skate or something. Like, everyone has a super big talent, and then, like, being told, like, oh, like, you do so much good work in the skate community, and just your love for skating alone, like, we want you on the team. Like, I still couldn't, it was, like, hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I totally deserve to be here. Mm-hmm. Until, like, I got to know everyone better and be like, oh, yeah, like, I am a part of this. And just with anything, like, every day I'm at, like, in awe of, like, how many followers I have. Like, why? Like, why do people care? Like, why are people, like, so nice to me? And, like, I try to remember, like, I'm a good person and it's okay. And, like, because I'm a good person, people trust me, and that's why they, like, subscribe and follow. But, yeah, with this podcast, like, I think that's partly why I'm always like, why do we have to do the podcast again? Because I'm just like, are we gonna fail? It's like a mixture of failure and everything.
I think that I deserve all of the success in the world because I work really, really, really hard. And I think that I deserve success in the things that I work hard at. Just like I think you deserve success in the things you work hard at. Just like, dear writer of that letter, I think that you deserve success in all the things that you work hard at and put your heart into. I am just, like, so overly positive about things like that. I just am constantly manifesting success and happiness and joy and continuous pursuit of that success and happiness. And I feel like I'm constantly like, no, you deserve this. No, you deserve this. But on the flip side of that, I do all of those things. But I also am like, I am nothing. I deserve nothing. I am trash. So it's very funny that I have these two very opposite sides to me. Like, honestly, like, I struggle a lot with being like, I am just Shov's girlfriend. Like, nobody likes me on my own. You know what I mean? Like, people just like me because of you.
But
and
I feel
struggled
like,
with that for a long, long time.
No,
you know?
but I think it's better now. I think in the beginning, like, when I say in the beginning, like, the beginning of, like, us having these doors open and opportunities, as like you put in your email. In the very beginning, it was me that had like the uprising was coming. Like, people were noticing me more and stuff. So I think, like, since I was first to start rising up, that's why it was hard for you. And I think that's human nature. Because, like, you were still doing good in the skate community and you were there. But then there were also so many times when people would be like, oh my God, you're Fat Girls Moxie, you're Shove. And then Rebel would be right there and people wouldn't even address her.
Yeah, people were,
Yeah, like, it was just messed up.
It was
like,
messed up.
And then now there's times we're out and people don't even talk to me and they're just like, it's Queer Girl Straight Spaces. It's like, because she started YouTube and I'm not a YouTuber. So now you have like these people, we've noticed that like IG and YouTube's so different and people will literally be like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I just stand there. And like, for me, I'm okay with it because I'm just
But
like,
now they're recognizing you because I feel like I've brought you into so much more of the, like, of Queer Girl Straight Skates. Like, I feel like you're a way bigger part of it than you ever were.
But it's, like, equal now, and I feel like before, like, I remember I would feel bad, and when people got excited seeing me, like, I would try to downplay it or, like, rush it, because I knew it was, like, hurting you.
It really did hurt my feelings for a long time, and I definitely am over that now. Like, I don't feel that way anymore. It's more of like a general self-doubt as opposed to a like targeted self-doubt. But yeah, I do think in the beginning it was really hard because the only success I ever saw was when something was tied to you. And so I just inherently felt like I was a shit person. And then
you were the zany white girl in the background.
Yeah, I was the zany white girl in the background. And I just thought, is that I'm ever going to be valued for? Like, do I have talents? You know, like, do they mean anything? And so I think that that's definitely a hard thing to push through. And you just kind of have to go day by day and just ask yourself, like, okay, what am I doing and why am I doing that? And I think that that's so, so, so important because if you're doing things because you want people to like you or because you want success, you're not going to get that success. Or when you do get that success, it's not going to be fulfilling and you'll constantly be searching after other people's like evaluations of you. And so what you need to do is focus instead on like, hey, this is something that I'm doing for X reason, whether it's to help someone else or whether it's because you really enjoy it or because it brings value to a certain community or to your children or to your friends or your family. And that's the reason why you have to do things. Because if you're doing things for other reasons, then that imposter syndrome is going to be so strong over you. You won't be able to overpower that imposter syndrome because you have to have a value that you're seeking in order to overpower imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And when I came to the realization that for me, it was I'm adding value to the skate community in a way that I'm providing a service that's not necessarily out there. I'm being my authentic self and providing, like, when I realized that I could use my skills as a teacher and apply that to the skate community, for me, that made me feel like I had value. And then it made me fight that, like, no, it made me fight that feeling of I'm not good enough with this feeling of, but I don't need to be good enough. I don't need to do the same things that Shove is doing. I just need to make sure that I am lending value where I am trying to lend value. And if I'm doing that at the end of every day, like that day was successful.
You got to take it one day at a time. And honestly, it goes down to that whole saying where it's like, if you never try, you'll be asking yourself for the rest of your life, like, what if? And there's things that I literally waited till being 33 to do, and I wish I would have started way earlier. Or like skating, didn't start, like, I wanted to join roller derby when I was like 21, 22, and I didn't start skating until I was 30, and it's like all those years lost of like so much more fun, and like I wish I would have had this joy earlier. So I think like you just got to ask yourself like really why you're not even trying. With that being said, prepare yourself for rejection. But just remember that rejection and failure teaches you what, like, basically, like, okay, that didn't work, so now I'll try this instead. Like, you have to fail to be able to grow. So just know, like, okay, I could fail, but I'm going to give it my all. And then if it doesn't fail, cry, wipe away your tears, get up, dust yourself up, and try again.
Yeah, I mean, in your email you talked about like blocking your blessings, and I think that there definitely is that concept of sometimes you're like, I don't deserve this blessing, or like, I'm not going to be good enough, and so you get into your head and you stop yourself from doing things that will gain you those blessings. And I think one way to fight after that is to believe in abundance. And so I've really shifted my mindset. I used to get jealous of people a lot, and I used to like struggle with not thinking that I deserved like my piece of the pie or whatever. And then I changed my mindset. I started reframing and thinking, no, there is an abundance of resources out there. There is an abundance of good things. And I deserve whatever good things fall in my lap. And just because a good thing happens to me doesn't mean that there are less good things for everyone else. There's enough good things for me. There's enough good things for you. And there's enough good things for Shove. There's enough good things for all of us without any of us like having to sacrifice the good things for the benefit of the other person.
To not block your blessings, like, you gotta manifest that shit. And that means you're praying to whatever gods, goddesses, deities you believe in.
The
and
universe,
not, or if it's just you believe in yourself, it's all about, you just need to really put that energy, because you are setting yourself up. And you need to be there mentally and spiritually to know, like, I can do this. So just choose one thing you really want to do and put it all, like, write an affirmation, like, make it a physical thing you can read and see every day. And hopefully that'll help you just, like, ignite that fire inside you to where one day you're going to read it that 100th time and be like, today's the day I'm making it happen.
Yeah. That's Dear Shovel.
Yep.
Yeah. That's our podcast.
That
was a good one.
It was a good one. I almost cried. Yeah. Your eyes are watery right now?
It's because I'm tired.
Okay. Well, she wanted to fit in with me and almost cry too.
Yeah.
Because likes. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. What happened yesterday, because for y'all listening, if you're listening on Wednesday, it was Election Tuesday. Who knows?
But all I do know is no matter what happens, it's really important to take care of yourself, and it's really important to prioritize your own mental stability in whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah, and the next podcast will be post-election, and we will give our bloody opinions, as we always do.
Because honestly, no matter what happens, I'm not going to be stoked.
And we're always going to have a opinion.
Yep, that's Skate Date for you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Bye, everybody.